There at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. On first down, Wentz. And his first look is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that one results in 35 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Runs over it. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Go. 120.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Lady! Parky, 82, Parky! Gray. Black. Push it!
Now they'll throw it. Wentz completes it to Ajayi. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards to the 16 and a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But I missed it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Ryan. Incomplete to open things up.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throw left side complete. It's Freeman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down.
No, sir. Get your doozy on. Oh, man. This is too funny.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get into the ground at the 37. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Let's go.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. 25, check 25, check 25. Gun. Let's go.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw again is Ryan. He sets to fire deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 37.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Right there. 5, 25,
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Hey, express. Here we go.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
I got 2. Single receiver.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this, and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
Now it's Ajayi. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. This is Ajayi. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it. They are locked into what they're doing offensively, and now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively, they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
86 is on the go. That's
Shotgun now for Wentz.
Triple coverage.
It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Here we go. 180.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So out come the Falcons now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On first down, Ryan. And it's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out...
Put on that ball?
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on? Back-to-back drives, back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes, but if nothing else, there will be a few stern talking tos, that's for sure.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, check back 45. Check back 45. Here we go.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Looking deep for Julio. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
2nd. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That was nice.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Ready, sit on it.
Throwing again. Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You got 4. 54, Sam. Big edge, big edge, big edge. Ready, go.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ortiz. And he'll go down at the 28. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Ryan will throw again. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown.
Yeah.
Julio Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons cut into that lead.
Oh.
Point after here coming up. Extra point safely through, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Wentz to throw. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 32 that time. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
4 down, 4 down. Here we go.
To throw is Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Set. 120.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. Vic Beasley in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here.
I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Tight right. Ready to go. Blue 80. Four down. Rush in.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
Get up.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Move. Ready to go.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. First down now, but that clock rolling.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. A couple of first downs, has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now Ryan on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Jones. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Hey, let's go. Tight left. Even. 4 down. Ready to go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach Elliott now to kick this one away.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So the sack pushes him back, and now third and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
3 down, 3 go!
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still third and long. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And they still need 6 yards here on third down after the penalty. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Come on now, come on now, let's go. Watch tight end. 4 down, 4 down. Check, 45, check.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Watch 80, watch 80.
Now Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And here now come the Falcons. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. To throw is Ryan. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Ajayi. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go, back man. Luigi!
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just...
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The trick play works. Excellent execution. 18 yards on that fake and a 1st down.
Porky, 82, Porky!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run with Ajayi. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Lion.
To throw, it's Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw again, Ryan. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Wentz going to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Tuesday. Ready to go.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Gilbert. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded just inside the 20. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. And out now come the Eagles. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Run.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. They run again with a J. And he powers his way up past the 30. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Aguilar has it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Ram. Go.
And they'll go on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Hang in there now.
Watch that end. Tight end's right.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? Despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Go, go. Go, go. 280.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And now lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, there's something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Brought down by Nate Gehry.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, Ryan escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Watch two. Go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Flush to his right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Nate Gehry. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind that he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
There we go. Back man. 280.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is caught at the 8. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He goes underneath to Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Gun. Space. 53.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Hey, wait. 20. Wait. We go.
One last shot for Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Eagles, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss.